Totally not the
And
same
now
server.
time
See,
for all of the
Oh!
auras.
Auras everywhere!
I'm already facing the right way.
Alright, let's see here. Where are you? Are...
You want
There
to
we
use
are, okay.
classic or reflavored? Classic it is.
Classic it is on a...
Classic because it's just... Look at it, it's hideous! Oh, she's on the map layer.
It's fitting.
There we go. Okay.
Speaking of hideousness.
Alright.
Well, no, that's what was being referred to.
Alright, and then... Hey, go ahead
Boom
and...
punch.
Excuse you!
Oh,
Rude!
Evicted.
You know what? Sure, excuse you! Alright. Sure, we'll have... Ahead of time, I would have added, like pillows and treasures and so on and so forth.
If this had
Essentially,
been further
she's
in
sitting on a
advance,
mountain of silk pillows. There's decadent foods all around. It's
the Sudoku was completed by the sprites.
So this will do as a quick patch job.
And then she claimed credit for it herself.
Naturally.
There's a lot of sprites getting stacked on.
You were her sprites, so of course she gets the credit.
Are there supposed to be like 3 of them on this tile?
Yeah, there's 3 of them, and there's 3 of them in it.
no, he means like there's 3 sets of 3.
Yeah, let me correct. Should
Like,
there,
if you
should there be
drag them,
9 on that
There's
tile?
still gonna be ones underneath it. There
Thank
you
you.
go.
So I thought you were referring to like, there's supposed to be 3 per set. Oh, like, yes. Oh, these are the sad sprites that I used, but that's beside the point.
They're supposed to be sad sprites.
Right, so as you enter, originally they're hesitant to allow Corvine in, since Sai alone has business with Ileana, but they more or less concede and allow her in on account of her, nobility. And as you step in, Ileana looks up. Oh, lovely. Give me your gifts. Do it now. I don't have much time.
The thing is, the gift I had today was too plentiful, and I could not carry it over here without risking it being stolen from me.
She raises an eyebrow.
Stolen from you.
Yes. It should have already been sent here. About 2,500 gold?
Oh, yes. I got that. Yes. But you're my presents. You must give me presents.
She takes out an extra 100 and places it on the ground.
And you, minor noble, you may give me a present as well. Sorry, petty noble's what she said, not minor.
This is why Bai Guang didn't come.
Let's see.
Payment with interest.
Oh, but your graciousness. I am only the most petty of nobles. Anything I could bring would only be an insult to your name.
That sounds like a diplomacy. Persuasion, or whatever it's called.
That sounds like a performance check.
It does.
It
kind of did sound like a performance.
She looks at Corbin when she says that. Your wordcraft needs a little work. Not bad for starters, I'll give you that, but you need to put a little more energy into it, a little more emotion, less patronizing.
Sorry.
But I'll admit you entertained me a little bit, so I'll accept a token offering.
She Steps forward. And sets a copper on the floor.
The token.
She looks down at the copper.
She doesn't walk up to her. That's how far away she is.
It's on the empty Sudoku spot.
Hmm.
She looks up. You're aware that I could completely defranchise your family with a word, correct? Strip your lands, take your title, cast you out on the streets.
I think I have enough allies that that's not a threat.
She gets out of breath. Right. I suggest you change your insult to a compliment very quickly.
How are you sure about this?
Okay. I don't think you could do that. I don't think you would.
I've done more for less.
Serica's now shaking furiously in the cloak.
She looks back. Our business here is concluded. You may leave, and I think I speak for both of us when I say I don't think we'll be sad we'll never see each other again.
She nods and leaves the room. I'm just gonna have her right there, though.
Fair enough. She looks back down. She is out of breath. Why did they let you in? That's why dealing with minor nobles is so troublesome. You think you're all that because you have a little bit of noble blood in you. And you can walk in here and stand up to us proper nobles.
I don't think having any noble blood has to do with standing up to you.
She looks down at Corvine. You truly don't understand who you speak to, do you?
I understand. I speak with the head of House Snowdon.
You
The
also
head.
understand that I could have your father arrested.
I understand that you could try.
You understand that I would succeed.
A major noble has done it before.
She raises an eyebrow. I'll give you one last chance to change your insult to a compliment, and I'll be willing to let this go.
What nice floof you have. It goes so well with your antlers.
She snorts. Well, I suppose that's something. Very well, you may leave. And again, I don't think I speak for. I think I speak for both of us when I say none of us will be sad that we'll never see each other again.
That's sounding hopeful.
Nope's right out of there.
And then you wanted to go Dag next, correct, Say?
Yes, so that would be along with Baiguang as well.
Bai Guang did a thing during that meeting.
Yes. And what was that thing you did, Baiguang?
As shown in the chat, he was performing the augury ritual to
Oh,
inquire, will we be able to help Tanya?
Oh, let me quick it up.
That's a
ho.
will this action result in Weal, woe, both, or neither. Or good, bad, both, or neither.
That is something that's barely ever used.
I was just thinking about that, and I'm like, I should probably use that more. We just so rarely have like time to stop for 10 minutes.
All
or
right.
11 minutes. Like, I wonder if this is a good idea.
We'll be able to help Tanya. Wheel, woe.
Weal and woe, or nothing. Decide now.
You get a sense of
Okay.
woe.
Oh. Is that the only sense I get?
I think that's the only thing I give you.
I mean, is it just woe, not weal and woe?
Yes, just woe.
Oh no. That's oh dear. He's gonna have to decide how to broach this to Corvine before they go.
So yeah, I guess they will approach Baiguang before going there then.
Well, Bagwang, as you arrive in Snowdawn, you discover that Corvine's already here.
Oh no, he went with them because they were going to be doing things together afterward.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah,
And while
pretty
they're
much the entire party went there unless Amber went somewhere else.
Well, yeah, to Snowdon.
and speaking of which, Amber, is there anything you want to do, real quick, while we're here doing various odds and ends? As a note, we won't do it right away. I just want to know if there's anything to add to the docket.
Not that she can think of.
Okay.
Go throw peanuts at captive Espen.
So in that case, Sae and Corvine leave Ileana's room. I suspect looking much like how anybody who just spent time in Ileana's presence would look.
Angry.
Yeah, that's a pretty good word for it.
Well, Sai's relieved and trying to comfort Serica at the moment. Though it looks like she was using message just now.
Sorry, Serica. I just...
We don't need to go back there. He's done.
The shaking stops. And happy little babbles come out of there.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens. PC doesn't quite have enough money and is willing to accept the consequences of going into debt.
Yep.
But we digress. Bagwang, do you have anything particular to say to them as they head out, or as they come out?
Not yet. He'll probably discuss the results of his spell after they see Dag.
Fair enough. So do you guys head straight to Dag then?
Yep.
All right. Sai, did you announce that you were coming here for this purpose ahead of time?
It would probably be implied because she was told to come back for that reason. So they'd probably have to remember it.
So did Zinzi or
Yeah,
Shinji
I saw that.
ever get the money?
I see no reason for her not to have.
Did you want to RP that or?
I've forgotten the particulars around it. Write up a little bit of a reminder what happened with that scenario, and I'll get to it once we've finished here. So yes, straight to Dag. As you arrive, you see Dag in pretty much the same condition you saw him physically an atrocity, but mentally and emotionally a little tired, a little weak, but still irrepressibly Dag. And as you walk in, you see he's attempting to lift something from his bedside. It appears to be a smaller branch. Not quite a twig, not quite a full branch, but somewhere in between. He's sort of struggling to pick it up with one of his half-formed limbs.
It's a bow.
Yes. Anyways, and since we know bows are mostly, fluff, it doesn't weigh a whole lot.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Also made of ice cream.
meta jokes aside, he walks in, he looks up, he's like, "Oh, hey!" He drops the thing. "I was just working out, trying to figure out where I have muscles now. I'm not really sure. So I'm trying out different limbs and pseudo limbs."
And sure you figure out something.
I'm pretty sure I'll be able to start walking, sort of, soon. It just gotta figure out what I walk with. And what doesn't hurt to walk with. That's the tricky part. Of course, then again, breathing hurts, so good thing I was a career fighter. I'm used to pain.
As my master told me, you train your body, you train your mind, and with that you can accomplish anything.
He laughs. I like your master. What was the name?
Peppa.
Pepper. Pepper. That sounds sort of familiar. What was he? Was he a reindeer?
No. He's an alpaca. Lives in Chime.
Chime. Wait a minute. A monastery, right?
She nods.
Yeah. I fought a couple people from that monastery. You got a nice discipline going on there.
Wait, you fought there?
Well, no, I didn't fight Pepper. A couple of the disciples from that monastery, came to raid and came into the arena, and I got the chance to fight them. I make a point of trying to, if I can, well, I did anyways, make a point if someone shows up who's new to the arena, have a fight with them once or twice. Sort of gauge. Well, okay, to be honest, I was sort of partially responsible for figuring out where people belonged in the leagues. I wasn't fully responsible. That was part of it, and my input was part of it. That's part of why why I tried to make sure I met everyone who was new. But a real part of it is, the more people you fight, the more people you get to know, and the more things you get to see. Like, I'm not really a world traveler, unfortunately. I wish I was, but I've seen so much of the world through other fighting styles. Like, I think it's only been like one or two, but that discipline you have out there, that's something else. Like, I had to appreciate it. Unfortunately, they didn't get very far in the arena, but it was something unique, and I remember it to this day.
If only they got further in their training.
He shrugs and flinches as he does so. I need to remember not to do that. Anyways, well, they fought well enough, but they never became professional. But anyways, I digress. Did you guys come here just to chat? Do you have business?
Well,
Also, good to see you, Bagwong.
Glad to see you're improving.
A little bit. How's Vixen? I heard she's stepped up to the plate now. Not stepped up to the plate. I heard she's sitting in the big chair now.
It fits her well.
So she actually did.
As it sounds like a lot of work, but I bet she's up to it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I always liked Winter Frost. They were good. A little stodgy, perhaps, but before we moved the town guard out of them, I respected them. They trained a good town guard. Then we voted to not make them in charge of that anymore. decided, not voted.
Hmm.
But that's politics. I'm sure you guys.
Who
will
made
want
the
input.
decision?
What? Oh, it's a joint council with the it was a joint decision of the council. What it was is, maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't, but Winterfrost, traditionally, their job, well, one of their main duties was to train the city guard and also to be the court of law.
I meant, who in the council made the decision? Do you know?
Who
Oh, we
pushed
all did.
what?
It was a basically a unanimous decision. Well, I mean, I wasn't part of the council, obviously, but
Unanimous.
Who brought up the decision?
Who's
Who
unanimous?
initiated?
What sort of problem were they having with them training
Well,
the guard?
it wasn't so much a problem. It was more we were discussing about, the various roles that we were having and how things were doing. We like to meet usually about once or twice a year, sometimes once every few years. It depends. Anyways, point is they felt that having a house training the royal guard and also being in charge of the court of law was not ultimately a good idea. Now, granted, Winterfrost had never done anything to betray our trust. There'd never been any major scandals. We won't talk about a few of the judges and captain of the guards that have been through the years. But there's never any major scandal. But we decided, just in case there was a bad member of that line who came along, that maybe we shouldn't have the official court of law and the town guard being trained by someone who has ulterior motives. So we moved them out of that house to make sure that they were neutral, so that there wasn't any favoritism towards one house or another.
I see.
So, that said, now that Winterfrost didn't have its main purpose anymore, we were all kind of trying to what their role is now, aside from ministering over their district. I assume, but, generally speaking, the district that the houses are connected to is kind of what they're in charge of, which is why the boroughs don't really have anyone in charge of them, kind of. But anyways, again, politics, I'm sure that's all stuff you don't really care about. I don't really care about it. The reason I know about it is because, well, I kind of have to. But anyways, sorry, I got off on a tangent. I don't really get the chance to talk to people very often, as you can imagine. I don't see a lot of guests nowadays. To be fair, a couple of my old fighting buddies come by, but a lot of them didn't come back after the first time. Kind of unfortunate. He shrugs and flinches. Right. Need to remember not to do that. Remind me not to shrug.
Well, okay, back to what I was going to say.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
The reason I'm here is continuing the reason I was here last time.
Oh right, the curse. Yeah, I remember that. Hey, you see that small orb over there? That's almost within reach of me.
She looks over toward the orb.
Normally it's within reach, but I had to shift myself to do some weightlifting. Looks down with a little bit of shame towards the twig.
Corvine walks over to it. Do you want me to bring it over to you?
No, I'm good. I got it. I can still reach it. I just, I used to lift boulders. Like,
You're still wounded?
He shrugs and flinches again. Go! Told you to remind me not to shrug. Anyways, I'm just a little bummed out, but I got high hopes and my spirits are high. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, this is me now, but who knows? Maybe it can be reversed. Maybe. Oh, right. Sorry, the orb. Tap on it and say Espen, and don't pay any attention to what you hear.
She approaches it, taps it. Espen.
Your mind is immediately filled with several impatient, inappropriate, and mildly insulting comments that can be basically boiled down to, who the flip is this? Why are you touching our personal communication network? and I'll be right to flip there.
She looks toward Dag.
He
That's what this is.
he goes to shrug and stops himself.
By the way, don't shrug.
Thanks.
Baiguang says after noticing that Dag almost shrugged.
Yeah. That Dag turns and kind of gives a deadpan like, thanks, appreciate it.
Yes, you need to be more careful.
Anytime.
Yeah, that's something that Espen gave me so I can talk to him. I mean, we actually have our own in-house way of talking to each other, according to necessity, but that's more of a direct immediate hit, and then Espen comes charging into the room and looks around and sees Sae by the orb, and he just sort of shoots Dag a look of like, well, basically daggers in his eyes. And Dag,
He couldn't reach it.
well, if you had stayed in your bed in the position you're supposed to be in, you'd be able to reach it at all times instead of trying to do this weightlifting. Right.
He's just trying.
Don't
I
mind
think it's-
him.
yeah.
Don't mind him. He's just fussing. And Espen shoots him a Dag, please look.
Corvine walks over to Espen. Please, it's just he wants to feel like he can do anything.
Yes. In any case,
Anything.
I'm guessing you are all here for a reason.
The same reason I was here last time.
Oh, right, yes, the curse. This is going to hurt.
Oh boy.
Just to be honest with you. Gonna hurt a lot. But you'll feel better at the end. Should.
Will I have to take off the ring first?
Yeah, actually. In fact, just to be safe, to restrain you or not to restrain you, that's the question.
Why would you have to restrain her?
No, trust me, this is not a pleasant experience.
The urge to hold on to the blade is very strong.
Are any of you good with ropes?
Define good.
Yeah,
Like-
Baiguang-
Like
If
if
only-
she like
if
if
only-
she tried with all of her might to break the ropes, would they break?
I am not a very strong person.
Baiguang actually has some silk ropes. Those would probably help.
Actually, you know what? I have some. Give me a second. He heads out.
Sadly, I did.
Someone was saying something.
I was gonna say, looking at my spells, and sadly, I did give him
Something that can't dex save out of intent.
A big
I-
rock.
Trying to make a joke, if that's what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, sorry. What was it?
Danny should have been there. He's good.
I suspect we all know he knows a thing too about
Grapples.
yes. After a minute, he comes back and let me make sure this is the right item I'm thinking of.
Rope check? What's a
Yeah,
rope check?
3rd edition rope check.
use rope.
Yes, use rope.
Use
That
rope.
was a skill in 3rd edition. That sure was a skill.
Also,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Make a rope check.
Also, spot and listen were two distinct skills. Hate
Yeah.
it.
So was hide and move silently.
I completely
Yes.
forgot about that.
I also hated hide and move silently.
I mean, to be fair, I don't mind too much that spot and listen are separated, but yeah, having hide and move silently as separate checks, that was a little rough.
I don't know. Hide and move silently. It kind of makes sense for them to be separate checks. It just
It makes
it's
sense, but
weird
it's
to be
annoying.
trained in one and not the other.
Also, just use rope.
Okay. Yeah, this does look exactly what I thought. In fact, I'm pretty sure that we're familiar with this item. Espen comes back in
Oh.
with a small metal orb, a little rusty.
That's what I was
Rust-
expecting.
Corvine's gonna look at him unsure. Are you sure you want to use a rusty one?
Well, most of them are rusty.
Oh.
I mean, there's not a lot of them anyways, but it's what I have on hoof. What do you... He shrugs. In any case, remind me your name again? Sorry.
Zayat.
Zaye. Alright, so Zaye,
Sorry.
Zaye, yes, he heard your name wrong and he's saying it incorrectly.
Zayat.
So,
Say.
oh,
Thank you.
Say it with me one more time.
why don't you just say it normally?
She,
This is an accent?
Okay, you can train it away.
Carvine's still eyeing him. Disapprovingly.
Anyways, don't resist. Just let the Iron Bands do their work.
Look. Once the ring is off, I'll be doing nothing but resisting. And
I know.
I
What I'm going to do is I'm going to
you
put
can
the
end
band
right now.
down right now, and then I'm going to take the ring off, and then we'll proceed to that point in the program. All right?
She nods.
Okay. So, I suggest everyone step away who doesn't need to be here. All right.
It's okay for Carvine to be here.
Get next to Dag's bedside. Stand like right next to him.
I think I'd be more comfortable if Carvine's here.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Say.
I'm mostly saying that for her safety, but whatever. Stand there. All right, good.
Bygone
And-
stands with Corvine.
Here come the... He looks at Bygone curiously and rolls his eyes. All right, here come the bands. He tosses them. I presume you don't attempt to resist them?
No.
All right. They strap her down, strap her to the floor. All right. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to remove your ring. Then I'm going to take your rapier from you. I'm going to give you rapier to Dag, and Dag is going to attempt... trying to think of if they would actually use the word. As I forget the word itself. Attune. There we go. Yeah, they would say. And Dag's going to attempt to attune himself to your sword. Okay?
She nods.
The reason I didn't tell you this before I restrained you is because the moment I take off that ring, you're going to know this. That said, since you're there, Miss Winterblood, could you take the rapier in question from her? Or could you take the weapon in question from her right now?
She nods. And attempts to, with magic.
Would be more difficult if there's stuff on. And
Alright.
she was able to easily.
Now, I'm going to remove your ring. Nobody listen to what Sae says at this point, alright? Nobody pay attention to her. Everyone ignore her. If she attempts to act violently, and she probably will, just don't worry about it. The bands should hold. Hopefully.
And Saya does nod in agreement.
Alright. The ring comes off. He comes over and yanks the ring right off. Winterblood, could you hand me the sword?
That is it! That is it!
She hands the rapier over.
Thank you. He holds the rapier aloft for Sae, quite visibly for Sae to see. Yeah, it's a
Give it back!
pretty thing, isn't it?
You give it back!
I wonder if I should just keep it, actually.
No,
No.
it's mine!
Although I think it'd be better in Dag's hooves, or well, what passes for hooves with him.
She glares back at Dag. That he does not deserve such a wonderful,
He
beautiful thing.
hands the weapon to Dag, and Dag looks at it. All right, well, I guess I'll just attune to it then.
What do you think you're doing?
Taking it over from you.
Give that back!
Closes his eyes.
She struggles to try and get out. So I'm actually gonna.
Yes, strength check, please.
Well, save and check are the same.
Fair
Nice.
enough. The binds hold quite well as you feel as Dad begins attuning himself to it, the curse begins rearing its head wholesale. Like, it becomes incredibly violent to the point where you actually get a +5 to that. And suffice to say, I don't mean to step on your toes, but your entire being is nothing but rage at the moment.
You give that back! Give it back!
And the more he becomes
You
attuned to it,
monster!
the more intense it becomes, and the more you start feeling physical pain, as well as, I guess, magical pain. Like, your essence is becoming injured as a result of this process, and the pain is becoming quite excruciating. And those on the outside can see Isai sweating heavily, and you're even seeing cracks in her flesh.
Cracks?
Yes. Her skin is actually cracking and starting to bleed.
Uh,
That blade belongs to me!
so Corvine taps Espen and points to her. She's being hurt.
Espen, yes. This is part of the thing.
Will she survive?
Yes, she will. That's why I warned her. This is going to hurt a lot. Trust me, this is, with a curse this powerful, this is kind of short of a... There are other ways of doing it, but very few individuals in the world have the power to just make it disappear. Lacking that power, this is the next best thing.
Bugwong
You!
asks,
She looks toward Espen.
Get that back from me now!
And he looks down at her. I'm sorry. Does it hurt?
Corvine slaps us a little bit and walks over.
He actually grabs Corvine and pulls her back a bit. Like, the taunting is actually intentional. I'm talking to the curse, not the Sae.
Oh.
like Bugwong asks Espen, will it interrupt anything if I heal her just a little bit?
Don't touch her.
I spits on Espen.
Oh, how sad. You'll be without your little sword. Boo-hoo.
Once I free myself from this, I will take my sword, and I will kill you, and you!
She looks back at Dag.
And I will make sure this never happens again.
Her skin cracks a bit more. Give me a Constitution save, would you?
Yeah.
All right, you will not be taking healing surges and damage at the moment. I mean, I'm sorry, hit dice and damage. Wow. Hello, 4th edition. How are you doing today?
Sae, it's just a sword, please.
Just a sword! Just a sword!
Espen actually sort of pushes Corvine to the side. I know you mean well, but the best thing you can do right now is to remain silent.
You call that wondrous marvel just a sword?
Well, it's not my fault the sword doesn't love you anymore. Look, it's sinking to Dag just fine. And I guess you don't love it anymore. Shame. It's worthy of it too, but here you are just casting it off like a piece of trash. But I guess at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just a piece of metal that's a piece of
She's
trash.
trying to break out.
All right, that's a... All right, so, Sae, you have broken the bands.
Bugwong casts command on Sae and says, yield.
Sae, roll a saving throw with advantage, please.
So wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay.
DC 17. Well then.
I'm sorry, I'm getting so many nat 20s in
As
a row.
Sae breaks out of it, a palpable aura of darkness actually emanates from her. And
She
feels-
glares back at Baiguang.
An entity of evil is essentially surrounding her and is infused in her. Espen then turns towards the other two. Leave! Get out! Now!
What did you just tell me?
You won't survive.
I can help.
You can't tell me
Yeah.
what to do!
Leave!
She
Please!
looks- She turns back around and starts charging toward the sword.
He turns and mutters a spell, and time freezes for a second. Well, you guys don't realize that time freezes for a second.
How long can you move in the frozen time?
But essentially, you see Espen turn, move.
He also sees that Corvine was dashing between Sae and Dag.
You see him turn, move, and a split second later, Corvine and Baiguang are by the door. Sae is pinned to the wall essentially by a force wall, and Espen is sitting there, sweating profusely with his hooves on the wall, pinning her in place.
Put me down!
Dag, anytime. The Dag looks up. Look, I can't exactly just. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. And at this point, you see some of the darkness that is emitting from Sae begin to appear from Dag as well. And the darkness that is in Sae begins to diminish. And they both, the one diminishes, the other one grows until they're about relatively the same. And then Espen turns towards Dag, and Dag closes his eyes and lets out a very loud, sort of like a super heavy grunt, like a, and a powerful force erupts from him, knocking most of you back a little bit, as the
Already
darkness
knocked
in him
back.
just vanishes and shatters. And Sae, you suddenly become not completely lucid, but aware of what you're doing. The compulsion to go for the sword is strong, but you're now aware of your actions and can control them.
What is... It's the sword. No! The sword! No!
If don't say I'm going to keep you behind this wall for the moment.
Yes! No, the sword! No! Yes! Do that. Do that.
Corvine walks in and looks at her.
Now is a good time for you to start saying encouraging things.
Sae, are you okay?
Come on! She is suddenly in tears, looking down, as she remembers what she did.
Sae, a wisdom saving throw with advantage, please.
Hold on. Can I,
That's strange. I could have sworn you rolled a 15 on that first roll.
Yeah, I could have sworn that too.
Funny that.
Just our eyes and the recording playing tricks on.
Yeah, it must be. A weird glitch of technology. Anyways.
Yeah, you get a +2 from right?
Yes, Corvine's words managed to cut in, and finally at last, the curse is yours to expel. You can keep it if you want, but I personally recommend that you expel it from inside of you. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with that, the darkness that was around Sae is gone. And Espen lets out a breath and pulls his hooves back, and the wall disappears, and he lands on his front hoof. Whew. Been a while since I've used that spell.
So Is that darkness in the room at all, or is it just gone?
It's gone.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's just normally when there are friends nearby, they inadvertently interfere with the process. See, the trick is I need to agitate the curse. The curse is a sentient force, and if I agitate the curse, it weakens its defenses. Words of encouragement have the counterintuitive effect of strengthening the curse, because it becomes more aware of what's happening in a. So it's not that I didn't want you around. It's just, like I said, friends usually inadvertently kind of cause a step back, right up until the last step, in which case it's very necessary. Any case, how you feeling, Dag? Ow! Good to hear.
What a good brother.
He drops the sword. Oh, take it back! Ow!
It's Gonzo, right?
One more time, sorry.
Is it gone?
Yes. The sword is now just a regular, whatever it was before the curse. Well, technically, it was a cursed weapon, and whatever magic it was a result of the curse. But we've managed to remove that part of it. So.
While Sai is lying on the ground, kind of exhausted from what she just did, she holds a hoof towards the sword, and it levitates toward her.
It feels like a normal, happy, magical sword.
The sword of happy.
Corvine picks up the sword at mid-flight. Maybe we should wait at least a few hours before we give it back to you.
In any case, that said, I don't mean to be rude, but get out. But Espen, come on, I want to talk to him. You need to heal and rest. You just broke a major curse, and you're still recovering. You need sleep. Dag grumbles.
Doesn't someone else need to talk to Dag?
This is Espen chiding Dag. Oh, right. This is everyone else.
Sorry,
No, I was just gonna come see how he was doing, and that's
okay.
gonna come.
Oh, okay.
Well, at the very least, Dag, this shows that you're not in as much pain as you could be.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
It could always be worse.
No, it couldn't. I'm telling you right now, it couldn't be worse. I felt a lot of pain. This takes the cake. Like, you ever had so much pain you're hallucinating? Yeah, I'm seeing like 5 of your girlfriend right now.
Wait.
Sai looks towards Dag and says, "Thank you.
No
Thank you."
problem. Reindeer made of fire.
Yes, let's get out of here. Hope you get well soon, Dag.
Same. And Espen sort of ushers you out.
Sai weakly goes out.
So, we shouldn't wait any longer. Let's head to Tanya.
About that, I also still want to go see her, but I should let you know, while the two of you were having your previous meeting, let's see, what item does he use for that? Let me check quick. What is my okay, he uses
25 GP of marked stick-like trinkets.
Yeah, well, that's one of them. It gives multiple. I consulted my stones, and I fear we might not be able to help Tanya.
What? What are you talking about?
Yes, that is what he said, OC. They have seen him do this.
On at least one other occasion.
At
Well-
least one.
I just found it an amusing phrase.
When did you do this, though?
Saye has not seen this because
Exactly. So that's why she's confused.
There you go.
it was fair enough.
Because it's only been used once before, and that was before she joined the party.
What are you talking about?
I suppose I inquired. I'm able to get a feel for whether something is a good idea. And my spell indicated that nothing good would come. Having said that, I would be remiss if we didn't try anyway, but
Yes.
my hopes are not high.
Mine have to be for her sake.
Bagwang nods a little bit sadly, but in agreement.
With
Let's
that,
hurry.
all right. I shall deliver 3 more pieces of information real quick, and then we'll call it session.
Very well.
That said, a couple of things happened. One, yes, Zinji got the money. It originally arrived at her home, but they later found out that she wasn't there, and because House Ba is a freaking has spies everywhere, they quickly found out where she actually was, and they made sure they were supposed to go.
It's a good thing they don't appear to be the bad guys.
2, Baiguang, you actually received a message back, or a response to the message you sent out.
And which message? Oh, yes. What is the response?
Do you want that answer privately, or do you want that publicly? Tell you what, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you
Yeah,
privately.
send it to
and if
me,
you
and
want
then
to
I'll.
repeat it. We can do so when
Next time.
session rolls around again.
That sounds like a plan.
Here is the whisper.
Fair enough.
Then, what's the last item of business? Oh yes. The last item of business was that. Oh right. Oopsies. Well that's okay. It doesn't matter too much. I forgot to mention that Olivia actually told Vixen that she wanted to apologize to the group in person when they had a chance. She would have come to you guys, but she didn't know where to find you. We can worry about
Apologies
that.
for what?
That's a good question. She didn't specify, just that she wanted to apologize to the group. And then
And then Haspa comes and assassinates us.
and Tonya was found. The houses found Tonya.
Finally.
Wait, what?
I just have to remember. I just have to remember if it was Snowdawn or Ba that you wanted to have find her.
No, it's no done.
Snowdawn.
Okay, yeah. I thought it
We
was Snowdawn.
talked to Espen about it, and then we
Yes.
talked to him a month later, and he was like, "Yeah, I blew that off."
Yeah, they finally found her. Turns out she skipped town, but apparently she's not too far away.
She took your advice.
She's staying with Vesper.
She just
He's got room.
opens the door to the basement one day.
There's a big old spider just chilling out. Hey, what's up?
And he said, "Who?"
Who?
Don't mind me. You're. I know your friends. They sent me here. Don't worry about it.
Dandy.
You got some explaining to do.
I'll go hunt for squirrels.
Yes, then suddenly the scroll population decreased drastically around Vesper's house, unrelated. And I believe that is Tasha. I don't think anything else to take care of at the moment, and we're at time anyways. So yeah, a lot of RP, a lot of loose ends, and
And a lot of nat 20s from me at the
good
end there.
night, Batman.
I mean, seriously.
To the point where we had to reveal that Espen is actually at least level 17.
Well, there may or may not be.
Oh, not even kiss this session 3 out of 10.
Them
Yeah,
them ninth
that's
level
true.
spells.
There may or may not be an NPC certain spell.
An NPC what?
There may or may not be an NPC creature technically in the back of the monster manual. May or may not contain a certain spell.
Which?
Well, that's just cheating. How dare he not have player stats? Hacks all around.
Time stop.
I will neither confirm nor deny the accusation. Spell.
Sawardo.
Well, you know, it was a force wall, and I think that's at least 7th level.
Force Cage is 7th level.
Okay.
Force wall is 5th, I think.
That's what I was thinking, but
Sorry, it was a prismatic roll. It was a prismatic wall.
yeah, Wall of Force is 5th level.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if it's not obvious, session is over.